Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Takara's Missing Link Optimus Prime, the Animation Edition. This is the version that I wanted to get. I know that C-01 is actually the version that is more toy-colored, accurate, and comes with the trailer and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted the cartoon one because, well, I mean, I do have trailers, right? But Melvor from the Game Chasers was kind enough to send this to me. He is one of my channel's supporters, and I wanted to actually take this part out of the box, like right here on camera, because the way that they package this now is because they know that this is an adult collectible, so they actually put it in a piece of cardboard, and then they give you a box with plastic. So if you want to keep it MISB and have it on display, you can actually display it this way. And you can already see from the awesome stuff that they have here. Yes, it is all in Japanese, and it is kind of cool that they have all of the box art. They even have like the transforming on the top, just like the old Transformers back in the day used to do. So let's get them out of the box. And without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch. Links are in the description below. Okay, as you can see, Optimus Prime here outside of the packaging, and it is very much one-to-one G1 Optimus Prime, just as you remember him. Of course, there are some subtle differences. You'll notice the headlights themselves are done differently, and that is because of the transformation, which you'll understand when I show you guys the G1 Optimus Prime. And since this is the cartoon colored one, the back of the feet, which turn out to be the taillights for the figure, are painted gray, whereas the original G1 toy used labels, and I'll get into that in a moment. And the rub symbol here on the top does work, so you can rub that just like so, and you do get an Autobot symbol. Very, very cool. And he is die cast. The chest piece here is made out of metal, so are the toes, which are very cool. The tires are rubber, and man, this just looks so good. Like, it is just a really cool looking G1 Optimus Prime truck. And when you open this up here, you'll notice the canopy here is actually different than the G1 counterpart, and that is because he does come with the Matrix of Leadership, and this Matrix is much more accurate to other matrices, as you could say in the past. And the hole here in the back is done a little bit larger because it fits in like so, and that is where he has his Matrix of Leadership. Very, very cool looking altogether. Now, if I am to compare his G1 counterpart, you'll notice the holes there are designed to be where the fists go, and there is a little bit differences as well. The tail lights with the stickers and, kind of other subtle differences. But the G1 figure, I have the fists stored in here, but that's actually where the seats for the Diaclone pilots would go. But the G1 toy in the US release, of course, on every version of Optimus Prime, doesn't actually have, any, pilots that go in there. But still, it is kind of cool one way or the other. Now, the other thing to take note of with this particular G1 Prime is that his trailer does work. So I could take his G1 trailer. This is the one that came here with the reissue. That is the reason why the smokestacks are so small versus the regular size smokestacks. The peg hole is compatible with this G1 Prime, so you can use this, trailer, and it is just is so cool to have, him there with his trailer, and it being a full-on Optimus Prime. Especially when you compare him next to his Earthrise counterpart and how small that trailer is compared to this one. It is such a major difference. And just to see how he would roll out next to his fellow Autobots, we got Jazz here. This, of course, is a reissue. This is why it says Agent Meister. And, of course, my reissue Bumblebee. Having all of them together is just a really cool look for all three characters. Further comparisons is my Kingdom Sideswipe and Netflix Bumblebee, which actually does work just as well as the Earthrise one does, especially with the larger trailer by comparison. And last but not least, if you guys saw my last review, I reviewed the Hot Wheels Optimus Prime, so you can see the comparison, whereas this is made of complete die cast and does have rubber tires. The C-02 is $10 less, is much larger, and is compatible with your G1 trailer, so your mileage may vary. Last but not least, the one thing I wanted to show you before the transformation is this whole little packet here that it comes with. Comes with some pretty cool stuff. You have Convoy, because in Japan he is known as Convoy. Him there with his box art. This little piece of red cellophane that they have here goes with the box, which is why I didn't move the box to the side. And on the back of the packaging, you'll notice that classic G1 style art. You can slide this over to be able to see his tech spec readouts. Very cool touch. Very, very awesome to have that as well. And then you have this last little sheet here that shows off the C-01 in its toy accurate colors, as well as the box art and a bunch of other things that are just kind of cool to take note of. And it also shows you that the stickers that the C-02 comes with has the ability to make it look more like the G1 cartoon or the G1 toy, because, which I'm going to move this to the side a little bit, this little sticker sheet allows you to make this more like the G1 toy, where you can put the labels on here like so, the Autobot symbols, the parts on his knee pads, or to make it more cartoon accurate, you can add the yellow, which is not present there, and that is a matter of personal choice, but I do like the idea behind the yellow. That's just a really cool touch. Okay, so moving on to transformation, it is very reminiscent of his G1 toy, but it is a little bit different. The feet do slide down the same way. However, what we're going to do for his arms here is we're going to slide them out, and as you can see, they in turn are part of the transformation instead of inserting the fists like so. We're going to slide out the fists, and then we're going to move his arms out. And this part right here is a little bit different. The wheels themselves do come out this way, and we're going to separate the feet and the legs, and then what we're going to do is we're going to slide it out, and the legs themselves come down like so. The wheels come down, the head flips up and over, and boom, that is it. Very simple, just like the original G1 toy was. And man, oh man, does it look awesome. Just to leave him there so you can see him standing in all his glory. One thing really cool about this, now you'll notice that they do have molded into the arms the details that you can put over for the labels. The C-01 version actually has them painted, same thing with the knee pads. However, the articulation on this guy is so much more than his original G1 counterpart. He can move his arms up and down like this, which the original G1 toy could not do. Obviously, arm can move all the way around, does have bend at the elbow. The legs can do a full split. He can tilt his feet this way in order to get a side kick, and he can even turn his head to look at his opponent as he's giving that good old side kick there. Man, does that look so cool. His legs can go forward, something the original G1 toy could not do. This is like everything you ever wanted in the original G1 toy, but only used your imagination to be able to do. Because, first thing first we're going to do here, you can see the Matrix there in his chest, just so you can see him. He can take the Matrix out like we did show you before, but now he can open his fists to be able to hold it, which I'm going to do like so. And as you can see him here, holding the Matrix of Leadership, the wrists do turn, so it does give you a lot more articulation than you had before, and boy does that look really awesome. Now, also, he comes with his Ion Blaster, which is different than his G1 counterpart because it is more reminiscent, I believe, of one of the earlier releases, as well as what they showed in advertising. So you can have him hold his blaster here like so. And have him stand really imposing if he wants to, or you can get him into some really awesome poses, which I'm going to try and get him to stand kind of like his original G1 box art, where he was kind of looking this way, had his fists out like so, and does the pose that a lot of people are very familiar with. Just so awesome looking. And to get him to stand up, of course, is going to be a little bit tricky because the the feet, you're trying to get them to turn where you need them to. But man, oh yeah, also that's right, he does have articulation this way, so he can move his legs out like so. That's so cool. Man, I'm just gushing off of this toy, and I haven't really had an opportunity to really play with it because it's so different than than G1 Prime in a lot of ways, and yet very, very familiar. Because here we're going to do some comparisons. Here is his G1 toy, and original G1 toy was a brick. Didn't move very much. We used our imaginations back in the day, where the arm could move forward and he can shoot at the Decepticons as you needed him to. Where he actually held onto the blaster was in a weird position, whereas here he can actually hold on to it in the right spot, and the feet didn't move forward. The only thing there was is that the knees bended forward and the feet bended back. That's all the toy could really do. But we used our imaginations back in the day for this guy, and this new one can do so much more. It's like everything we ever imagined out of this guy done here. Especially if you were actually, didn't matter if it was the G1 cartoon or the comic book, and that's kind of the reason why they released both versions, is so you can kind of get a cartoon accurate one and a toy accurate one, and boy does it look great. Like, man, I'm gushing over this guy because it's just so cool looking, in comparison. And even if you compare him next to Earthrise Prime, and of course Hot Wheels Prime here, which is like done to reenact this toy. Man, I am just gushing over this Missing Link guy here. It's just so cool. So very, very, very cool looking. And here he is next to Bumblebee and Jazz, the original G1 toys. Yes, they were that small. And if they did a Missing Link for Jazz, which they already are doing for Bumblebee, but he's going to be doing that with the G1 toy head instead of the cartoon head that I have here on the reissue. Oh man, I would definitely go for Jazz if they went for it. But this axe that he comes with is also good because it has a piece that kind of clips in like so, and then he can wield the battle axe. In the cartoon he used it on his right hand, but just for display purposes here, I'm going to show him next to both Jazz and Bumblebee here. He fought Megatron with that axe, but still looks so cool. And for final comparisons, here he is next to Kingdom Sideswipe and Netflix Bumblebee. So he does scale well even with them. So if you want a good G1 Prime in your collection and you want him to have the good cartoon articulation and everything, and be that old die-cast rubber tires and metal, what have you. You could see it scales just as well with the Kingdom and Earthrise toys as it does with the G1 toys too. So this is G1 Prime for you. So as you can see, I decided to put the yellow labels on his waist here. I am very, very impressed with this guy. You could already see, I'm just gushing over this. It's like, it's such an awesome looking Optimus Prime to have in hand. It's like every G1 fan's dream, like to have like this like fully articulated G1 Prime that's literally the G1 toy that we remember, but done with the articulation that you'd want. Having the option of both the toy and the cartoon colors is great. Of course, going for the cartoon one was a plus in my book, since, like, for a lot of people, like, do they necessarily want the trailer? But some people do, and that's perfectly fine. But man, this is for the value that you get out of this guy. $70 gets you this G1 Prime with all the bells and whistles, the articulation, the matrix, the axe, the blaster, the cartoon accurate colors, and of course, if you want to spend the $120, $130 that it cost for the version with the trailer, that's up to you, But at the end of the day, it's for any G1 Prime fan, like, this is exactly what so many of us have like imagined in our minds for over 40 years now. When we first got this figure in hand, played with it, just imagined all the adventures you can go with this thing. And yeah, it's just something really, really cool to have in your collection. I think it's worth it. But I want to know what you guys think about Missing Link Optimus Prime. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more Transformers videos like this coming soon, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.